Hello students, welcome to Fab 1010, Fabrication Tools and Materials. In this introductory lesson, we are going to explore what metal fabrication and welding is. If I ask you students, what is welding? Some of the common responses might be something like, it is melting metal together, or depositing molten metal to attach components together. Those answers are absolutely correct. Fundamentally, as welders, we're focused on doing exactly that, being skilled at joining metal together. It is a challenging skill that demands a lot of careful attention. As welders, we must become familiar with a multitude of processes and techniques to accomplish our job. Beyond this, my goal in this course is to build your knowledge and familiarity with all of the elements surrounding welding and how they relate to the trade. I am hoping you can build a type of personal inventory and awareness about related careers and career pathways, technologies, design, and materials. I know myself, I'm constantly looking around at metal components and welded structures and asking myself, wow, I wonder how that was designed. How was that project assembled? As a teacher, I want to help you students start to think like fabricators and welders and be familiar with the language and concepts of welding. I'll explain more as we move forward. Let's begin by just looking at some pictures. In this first slide, it looks like the welder is doing a repair of sorts on some dirty piece of steel. I can't see what the person is doing with his left hand. You can see the sparks bright light from the electric arc. This person is using a wire feed gun, either a GMAW or an FCAW process. I'm wondering if the person's hands are going to get burnt. From a safety perspective, I think it would be more prudent to wear gloves. From this picture, it looks like we have a stack of newly formed lengths of C-channel. They must have been cut from sheet stock, and they must have been cut with a shear and bent using a power brake. These lengths are neatly stacked and nestled inside each other in opposing directions. Looks like the worker is using a gauge to double check if the components meet the dimension tolerances of the project. This person is probably a supervisor or a quality control person. It's nice to see he's wearing gloves. This slide is from an outdoor industrial setting. Looks like they are welding a C-channel cross support onto a girder I-beam, large girder beam. Perhaps on a bridge or large building. I'm seeing parts of the boom section of a crane in the background. Those are blue and yellow crisscrossing supports. One thing about this picture that has me confused is how the welder is supported in midair. This image is confusing to my eye. The brownish orange rope type thing is the welding cable, but this person does not have a safety harness. This person is using a SMAW process or stick welding process. There's still a few unanswered questions here. Here's a cool project, an ornamental bicycle tacked together using nuts, bolts, and a chain link. Very creative piece of work. This is something that maybe you students could try to do. This project reflects a more artistic approach to metal fabrication. Very nice. This picture, it looks like the fella is showing some instructors or supervisor an angled piece of 3 or 4 inch HSS fit up. It's unclear what the project is. Perhaps this person is simply demonstrating the fit up. When people do good work, others take notice. This slide looks like stainless steel piping installed in the facility. Looks like we have an engineer inspecting the facility or checking gauges. In this picture you see flanges, a vessel, valves, and a complex array of piping. This picture speaks to the vastness and enormity of the welding industry. There are engineers, tradespeople, designers, quality control personnel, safety inspectors, etc. Metal fabrication and welding is a massive industry that employs a lot of people. Many of the jobs are well paid. As an instructor, this image is one I like. I see a young fabricator wearing face shield, gloves, handles on the grinders, two hands on the grinder, and working diligently to accomplish a task. Looks like this person has some physical challenges and able to work through them. Nice to see. The reason I'm showing you these slides is to spur your imagination a little. Also, I just wanted to show you some of the things I'm thinking about when looking at these pictures. As you progress through the course, you will gain knowledge, skills, and a general understanding and awareness of all the things that surround welding. You will learn new concepts, terminology, words, and ways of communicating and describing metal fabrication and welding. You will essentially learn to think like welders. Starting today, I would like you to build a brainstorm a map of all the knowledge, concepts, and ideas, skills, and things you know about welding. You'll see in this slide, I made it on a PowerPoint, but I think it would be best accomplished on a poster board using markers. That way it'd be easier to add items and draw lines to connect ideas. I've selected a few main topics that you can use to explore subtopics and add words. And you can basically add whatever you want. You can make up your own topics as well. We will add to this map periodically throughout the course as you learn. The idea is that the map will reflect your increasing awareness and knowledge about metal fabrication and welding. I'm hoping it will help you make cross-curricular links to other subjects as you learn in school. So you can see on this map I have engineering, careers, processes, materials, safety, skills, and I've included a little category for categories you can include in your concept map. And the idea is that you can just put what you know right now and all the words and terms and whatever comes to mind, and you kind of build an inventory of your awareness about the welding and the welding industry or whatever there is to know about welding. And you can add to this, and it's a working portfolio. At the end of the term, you can present it and update it. The next working item I would like you to create is a word chart. There are lots of words, language, and ways of describing things that we use in metal fabrication and welding. Sometimes you'll hear me say things while I'm instructing that you may not make sense to you. When I think about it, some of the words I use in the shop are quite humorous. Most of the words are usually simplified versions of more technical terms or words. I think it would be fun to take inventory of all the words, terminology, acronyms, and provide meanings for all of those words. Hopefully, this will help you have a better understanding. In this process, it is very likely that you will bring to my awareness some of the words that I use while talking in the shop about welding. So you can see some of the words I used here. One common one is, pass me a rod. And then that's really the technical term for that is an electrode. And I defined it as a consumable in the SMAW process. And then I have stick welding. And really that is actually SMAW or shield metal arc welding. And we have a description on the other side. And then you might hear me say something like, turn your heat down. Well, really what that means is turn down your amperage. Okay, those are common things that welders say. And then on the common words, you have ground, dirt, or negative. Those are all commonly used to mean to hook up your ground cable. Okay, or let's say you're using the GMAW process, and I might say, is your gas turned on? Well, the proper word would be your inert gas, most likely argon or C25 or something of that nature. Or if you're using an oxyacetylene process, it would be your oxygen or your acetylene. So you can see there's a lot of crossover language, and it's actually fun as a welder to take note of some of those, and then you improve upon that. And Hopefully you can add to this chart, and I'd like to see it grow as we progress through the term. And this can be part of your working portfolio that you present at the end of the term, along with your project. Well, that's it for today. Thank you.